All right, welcome back to part 2 of how I achieved my 40-pound weight loss. We'll dive right in. I don't want to waste any of your time. So a really important part of me being able to lose a significant amount of weight without really trying all that hard was my dietary pattern. So if you are a regular around here, you know that I eat a whole plant food diet, which means that I focus on eating as much unprocessed plant foods as I can physically fit inside my little body. And I tell you what, it's a lot of food. Everyone is always surprised by the amount of food that I can put down. So as we went over in part 1, years of caloric restriction and over-exercise really wrecked my body. My metabolism was slow. I had hypothyroid, which is notorious for causing significant amounts of weight gain. I was exhausted all the time. I was a mess. And I could gain weight really easily. So for a long time, even after I had started a vegan and a raw vegan diet, my number one priority in determining what types of foods I was eating was my weight. And when I finally reached my I can't live like this anymore point, I consciously chose to shift my priorities about food from my weight to nourishing my body. And so the idea of calories kind of evaporated. Not easily. There was a lot of internal debate about that, but I allowed myself to let go of trying to restrict calories in order to achieve weight loss. When that happened, I ended up eating a phenomenal amount of food. Like, I'm talking about 4,000 plus calories in a single day. It was a huge amount of food. I was a bottomless pit. I was constantly eating. I did gain some weight by doing that, but eventually, without consciously changing the amount of food that I was eating, without purposefully eating less, I did start to lose weight. And that was a result of my body getting healthier, of my metabolism becoming less efficient, technically, of my thyroid and other endocrine glands getting healthier and being able to maintain my hormones in a much more effective way. So over the years of my weight loss, I have gone from eating a phenomenal amount of food to eating I guess you could just call it a more reasonable amount of food, and that is a result of my body naturally asking for less. So instead of me feeling like I needed to hoover in as much food as physically possible, like literally stretching my gut to the point I was like, it might bust, it might burst. Instead of doing that every night, it became more appealing to eat until I was pleasantly full, comfortably full and satiated. A big part of that was being able to manage my anxiety, getting a lot better about that self-acceptance and that self-worth, which we talked a lot about in part 1, and really getting comfortable getting into a dietary routine where I was eating mostly whole plant foods, the foods that are really rich in fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that nourish your body in a real and meaningful way. Nowadays, I'm usually consuming 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day. I'm not stuffing myself, I'm just comfortably eating the large meals that I enjoy. And I never feel hungry, I never feel deprived. Sometimes I feel overstuffed, like I overdo it more than I probably should, but it happens. And even though my diet is really consistently great because it makes me feel great, I do give myself wiggle room to, go out and get a nice big cone of vegan ice cream or 2, or indulge in some other delicious vegan junk food from time to time. But I always do reflect, do I genuinely want this? I've gotten to a point in my life, and I never thought that I would get there, where junk food and dietary indulgence, where I can actually look at it and I can be like, I know that it tastes great, but I just don't really want it, and I know it'll probably make me kind of feel like crap later on, so I think I'm just gonna skip it. Thanks for offering though, it looks fantastic. I literally don't want it, and I'm gonna honor that. So to sum up, I lost weight by eating as much as I cared for of whole plant foods and not worrying about how much I was eating. just letting my body make that choice. The next aspect of how I lost 40+ pounds was my workouts. And I just did a video updating you guys on my current workout routine and kind of my belief system around how much we should be working out, etc. And I have always been, since I was a teenager, really good about exercise. You know, I'm really good about forcing myself to exercise and getting it done. Ow, fuck. How did that happen? I gave myself like a Charlie hand. What the hell? Owie. You know, I used to like flagellate myself at the altar of the cardio gods 6 to 7 times a week. It was not pleasant, and it wasn't particularly effective. So when I got to my breaking point where I just really couldn't live like that anymore, I purposely decided to not be as stringent or forceful about my workouts. And like I mentioned in the second video of this series about my workout updates, like I don't do that much cardio anymore. I never force myself to do it. I just do it when it feels enjoyable. I do play a lot, you know, go for walks, do things I enjoy, run around the yard with my dogs, that kind of thing. But very little purposeful cardiovascular exercise. And then what I really discovered as a super effective way to lose weight is to lift weights. I discovered that lifting weight makes me gain more muscle, and while I always knew that, you know, muscle weighs more than fat and it's very metabolically active, I had never really put that into practice in a big way before, and I always thought that if I started lifting weights that I would, you know, get really manly and not look feminine at all. Obviously, that is not the case, and I have actually made my body look much more feminine than it genetically wants to by lifting weights, by building up muscle in my butt and my thighs and my hips. And those muscles, that extra muscle, has just eaten up my body fat, like without me even having to try. And it's just, it's a beautiful, easy thing. I love it. The next way that I was able to easily lose and maintain the weight that I have lost is something that a lot of people do not consider when they're thinking about weight loss. They think that it's all calories in, calories out. It's all about what you eat and how much you exercise. That is absolutely not the case. Weight loss is about the health of your endocrine system and thus the speed of your metabolism. Even someone who is eating 1,500 calories a day and forcing themselves to exercise every day might not lose weight, and they're going to be really miserable, and they're going to be prone to binges and cravings, which will definitely cause more weight gain. Something that's really important that people don't think about is rest. And when I say rest, I mean sleep. You know, sleep is very important. But I would say equally as important as sleep is downtime and time to relax and just enjoy doing not much. And this can be a point of contention, especially in a society that kind of like demonizes rest and portrays people who do rest, get plenty of sleep, take really good care of themselves as like weak or lazy or losers. It can be difficult to really accept that we need rest and it's good for us and we deserve it. And so it can end up being a point of contention with a lot of people. They get really upset, like, I don't have time to sleep and I definitely don't have time to rest, and easy for you to say and blah blah blah. But I mean, the fact is that you're a human being and human bodies need a certain amount of sleep to be able to function. And if human bodies don't get what they need in order to function, they malfunction. And a big way that we malfunction is with really slow metabolisms. And I have gone into the importance of sleep and rest for metabolic health in several of the videos on the weight loss series. So there will be links all around. You can click on those and watch those videos if you have more questions about that subject. So I won't go too in depth here, but literally when I allowed myself to surrender into guilt-free rest, relaxation, and letting myself sleep as much as my body wanted to, literally weight just started falling off of me. Getting plenty of rest like that, I also saw a significant decrease in my appetite and the types of foods that I was craving. When I am well rested, it is so much easier to make responsible, intelligent choices about what kind of food I want to eat. When I'm sleep deprived and low energy, junk food is a lot more appealing. So do not underestimate the importance of rest in your ability to effectively, permanently, and easily lose weight. All right, so that will about sum it up for part 2. If you're hungry for more information, definitely check out the weight loss series if you haven't seen it already. If you have seen it already, you can always feel free to rewatch. There's so much information in those videos. Even I learn things when I watch those videos. And thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. And until next time, make better choices for yourself. No one's gonna do it for you. And take really good care. I will see you very, very soon. Bye. Phytonutrients that nourish your body in a real and meaningful way. I think we just had an earthquake. Okay, I guess that's it. We're okay. Okay.